Browns Island's getting a facelift.
Yeah, I think they start this fall, like literally in the next couple of months, right?
Yeah.
It's like $30 million going into it.
Yeah, it's like 30 million's going into it, and they're pausing or postponing Friday Cheers for all of next year and at most maybe the beginning of 2027 to get Browns Island completely redone, which I think is pretty cool. I know we like referenced this once before when we were talking about the Allianz Theater, kind of going in there and tying into everything. I'm a big fan of Browns Island because it's so accessible. You can do so many things down there, and it's been well kept for the most part, as long as I can remember. It is well due for a facelift, but by no means was it like neglected or an eyesore or anything that you didn't want to go and hang out at. I was down there 2 Sundays ago to see the Flaming Lips, and I think I mentioned on the last episode that it's just so cool that you can just roll up, walk across the bridge, or walk down the street, and you're on this really cool, big grassy lawn, lots of stuff to do. You can walk the Potterfield Bridge and cross the river. You can do a little rope swing down there if you want. You can start kayaking from there. There's like so many things to do. So a facelift is well-deserved for sure.
I definitely agree. And I know that people also hate it. Like people hate it because they feel that they're, modernizing and capitalism and all this, which I understand. And to some point, I could agree with many of those points. But what I always come back to is this. Like we live in a digital world, and every day that goes by, we become more and more disconnected. So if we have to put money into our public spaces and shared community spaces and the places throughout the city that people often flock to and think are cool, sure, maybe it means that there's more commercial gain for the companies that are involved, but it's bringing more people together. And the Folk Festival and River Rock and all those things, they're all designed to make money. They never weren't that, right? Like a lot of the events that have specifically taken place on Brown Island are designed to make money, right? And that's how they afford to do those things and how they afford to bring in bigger acts and stuff, right? And so I definitely understand why people often push against development. I do. I totally understand it. And of course, we've talked about allocation of funds and like, oh, this money could go somewhere else. But that's always going to be a valid argument. It's always going to be that way. Doesn't mean that it's not worth fighting for. But I think we've got a handful of places that people really like to go. Browns Island is a gathering place for a lot of people. So putting money into it to make it nicer, make it better, make it more accommodating, and to make it cool and fun and make it sort of a boardwalk and sort of a gem for the city is a great idea. And yeah, I agree with you. I'm definitely excited about it.
Yeah, that just kind of reminds me of, I think, something we've talked about, but I've talked about it with some friends, and I think it's been more popular as far as like something that people are aware that they like and maybe want more of are third spaces, right? Mm-hmm. And I think about this a lot now because I've jumped into being self-employed, entrepreneurship, and I left like my 9-to-5, which means I don't have a place to go during the work day. So I go to a coffee shop, which is great. I love going to a coffee shop. The only drawback that I currently see is it's not really designed for you to be there all day long, and you do have to buy something to be there, which I have no problem with. I like getting my tea. I like getting, a pastry or something to eat and snacking and hanging out. I really enjoy the social aspect of it. I'm a very social person, so working from home and being locked in my room for 8 hours a day is not really my favorite thing. I kind of get stir crazy after a few hours and I need to just go outside. And, something like a coffee shop or a co-working space is a great way to be out of the house, still in a work-centric environment, almost like an office, but not quite, and be productive. But on the other hand, third spaces could also be places that aren't stores, restaurants, or your house, right? Public space, a park is a great example. The lawn at the VMFA is a really great third space. Scuffletown Park off of Strawberry Street Avenue is a really great third space because you can roll up there, you can spend zero money and have an incredible day, or even in just an hour. So taking time and effort and money, because all this stuff costs money, to turn a public space into a more inviting version of that, I'm all for it. And I think if you reframe it like that and you think about the benefits, yes, it's capitalism. Yes, the funds could be allocated elsewhere, but this is also important too. You know what I mean?